Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and making some really good trades, and let's just get into it. We are going to do our Sunday analysis even if the markets are not open tomorrow, and I hope you Americans are having a great long weekend, although I keep forgetting what you guys are celebrating, so feel free to let me know what you guys are celebrating this weekend. And again, let's get right into it. And right now we can see that Bitcoin got a very nice rally back up to 28,300. However, I want to mention the Nasdaq, the S&P, and basically those two markets are looking very, very overbought at the moment. However, things can remain overbought for a very long period of time. Now, I did go over a lot of the recap with the group on Friday night, but I'll point some quick things out for you guys, just right now. So let's just take a look at the QQQ, which is essentially the Nasdaq, through an ETF. And right now, you guys can see that we are obviously in a bull market. Before I continue my analysis, I've been on Twitter looking at all the tweets that everyone's posting. Right now the bulls are celebrating. They're making fun of the bears. Oh, how stupid could you be shorting? And because we are up over 37% from the lows on the Nasdaq, and right now the SPY has essentially just I think reached 20% on just the other day, or I think like last Friday we just reached 20% or just over it. So we are now in a bull market because a 20% move towards the upside. We are now back into a bull market. Now, the thing that a lot of people don't understand is that when we were, dropping in the S&P, the bears were doing something very similar. We were celebrating, we're making fun of the bulls. How stupid are you longing? I'm bullish and bearish, right? So I can't remain, always a bull. I can't remain permanently bearish or permanently bullish, but, I'll go with the trends. And right now, I think that we are starting to get very overbought, especially on the QQQ, which is the Nasdaq. And I would start to turn bearish at these levels, extremely bearish, in fact, because we are very overbought at the moment. I know it's after reading so many tweets that it's like nobody wants to short anymore. And in my opinion, that's the best time that you want to start shorting. And we'll do a little bit of analysis. We have finally reached the 61.8 retracement on the QQQ, or just $1 away from it. So if we were to gap up here and hit the 61.8, well, I guess we could say that we already reached it, because if you take a look at the Nasdaq on the overnight, we did get a bit of a gap up, and we just tagged it right here, which is 14,400, and essentially that's I think that's basically the 61.8. I can do the measured move here for you guys on a window here. So I think we just reached it. Yeah, we just tagged it. We just tagged it. We're actually went a little bit above it, but overall the market's open on Tuesday, and if we open lower, then I think that we are going to potentially start to reverse the move on the QQQ. Now, I'm not calling for a very massive drop towards the downside, although I will remain bearish given the economic factors. I know a lot of bulls right now are going to be like chanting, how stupid is this video? How could you be bearish? Nvidia to the moon. Right? And then, stocks never make new all-time highs, right? In a bear market. And actually, I think Nvidia did make a new all-time high in the 2002 bear market. So, let's just look at all the facts right now. So at the moment, the QQQ is very overbought. I think we are starting to run into a plethora of resistances. Not only did we just get the 61.8 retracement, we are starting to get overbought on the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 50. I think every time frame is overbought at the moment, except for maybe the weekly. The weekly is about to get overbought. However, we are not quite there yet. The weekly could very easily, make another high here. Maybe we'll tag the $15,000 level on the Nasdaq, or we'll tag a double top here at 371. But overall, at the moment, I am bearish, given the facts that we are getting pretty overbought. Now, taking a look at the S&P, we have not made that much of a significant move, right? We are now starting to run into this major trend line here, or essentially this channel, which is going to be major resistance. We closed above the $4,200 level. That's not a good example. Let's take a look at the actual index. So we actually closed above 4,200 at 4,205. However, there is a very big amount of resistance at these levels. 4,200 has been a major resistance for a very long time. I still, however, would not be surprised if we were to go to 4,300 and then start to come back down after that for a bit of a pullback. But right now, I wouldn't say that the S&P is in an extreme, this is a must short at the moment, given, we are not that overbought on the RSI. And I still think that we could go for this gap fill at 42.50. And I think we did pop up on the overnight, on the new daily candle that we just got on the S&P. So again, I still think there's a little bit more room for the S&P, but however, the Nasdaq, I think it's getting ready for a pullback. Now, taking a look at Bitcoin here, Bitcoin's kind of been chopping sideways these last couple days. Even with that big rally in the Nasdaq, we didn't see too much of a move, but we are getting a very big move now with the debt ceiling resolution. They've got a deal. It's more money printing, time to turn the money printer back on, and now we're starting to see, Bitcoin get a very nice leg towards the upside. We just ran into some resistance right here from this downsloping trend line right at 28,500. We basically just wicked down. We just tagged it, and now we're starting to wick down. Now, if you are looking to get into a long position on Bitcoin, then I would start to maybe take a look at 27,200, or essentially this previous support. Or if you want to get a bit risky, I guess you could try to long these previous tops here. Right, so this one was resistance, resistance, and resistance. So if you were to come back down here, it's very possible that you could retest this as support and then continue to move towards the upside. Now, I will be looking for a potential nominal high on Bitcoin. If we were to make another high, then I will probably start to take a look at 32,000 to 35,000, which has been my target for quite some time now. Even with this big drop in the Bitcoin price, I still would not be surprised to see those levels achieved. Now, I'll just illustrate them right here for you all. I'll just take a look here. There you go. Is it this one? Yes, this is the one, the CME futures. So we do have a gap to fill right here, right around 35,000. So that would be a very good target for Bitcoin to reach. However, I think we are going to run into some resistance right around 32. And with this move up towards the upside, we actually just created another gap right down here to be filled at 27,110. So again, getting back to that previous chart I showed you guys, 27,200 would not be the worst idea to get into a long position right around here. After all, it has been proven to be support many times, and it's proven to be resistance as well. We kind of, we've been struggling to get above it. We broke above it here, but we didn't confirm, and we've been underneath it ever since until now. After this big breakout that we just got, a retest back down and then another move up towards the upside would be very nice. All right, now taking a look at the S&P again, and I'll just reiterate this for you guys. It looks like there could be potential upside. So in the short term, I think that the Nasdaq is getting overbought. Now, taking a look at Elliott wave and the Elliott wave indicator and market cipher, it is looking bullish. I will admit, even though I am bearish on the markets and I think things can turn at any time, you cannot deny that it is looking very bullish on the monthly, the weekly, and the daily time frame. Right now is looking still very bullish. Taking a look at the Nasdaq, it is looking extremely bullish as well. Looks like we could potentially make another higher high in this market before we start to get a big drop towards the downside, as we are potentially in our wave 5 here. So again, maybe we'll tag 17,100 to maybe making a new high around 21,000 on the Nasdaq, and then we can take a look at the S&P. And on the monthly, the S&P looks like it's going to be tagging 6,000. So we might even reach that level there. I was watching on CNN that people might tag, the S&P might tag 6,000 by the end of the year. Although I don't think it will be by the end of the year, but maybe. Who knows? You never know in this market. Maybe inflation comes back down to a certain amount of level that's manageable for the Fed, and they are able to start printing money again. That would drive the markets definitely to new highs. But for the time being, I remain bearish. Inflation is still high, and I think that there are bigger problems in this economy that people see right now. But for the time being, looks like we are in a bull market because we have crossed the 20% mark, and this could not be counted as a bear market rally. However, it could be very well counted as a very short bull market if we were to start to roll over. Let's say we stay in this bull market for a couple more weeks, and then in the month of June, the market starts to roll over again. Then you're going to find that this was probably the shortest bull market ever, and then the bears are going to start chanting again. The bulls are going to say it's just a pullback before another leg higher, or whatnot. But for the time being, we're just going to look at a chart and what the numbers are in front of us. And right now, it's looking like there could be more highs in the S&P. I will not rule it out, but I remain bearish on the markets. Anyways, let's continue here. Let's take a look at natural gas. So natural gas just opened up for trading. It is currently slightly up, or next to neutral. And natural gas is extremely volatile, so don't be surprised if you get some big moves down and some big moves up. So we did get this big leg up. Now we're starting to get a bit of a leg down. We are starting to find support around $2.40. If we get another leg up towards the upside, $3 is going to be my target, and that could maybe even take us as high as $3.51. And I know a lot of people are not bullish on nat gas and they hate nat gas right now at these levels, but hey, I hated nat gas and I was shorting nat gas when it was at $9 to $10, and now that we are at the lows, nobody likes it. They loved it at $9 to $10 and they hate it at $2 to $3. So I mean, that's just the market for you at the moment. No one's really bullish on anything, and I know you can look at the fundamentals and all that stuff, and the weather is bad, all that's good, but looking at the chart, it's extremely oversold. The monthly chart looks good. The monthly time frame looks good, especially on the NYMEX. We're not really taking a look at these charts right here on currency.com. We want to take a look at the NYMEX on the monthly time frame. Let me just get rid of all this stuff right here. So right now on the NYMEX, right, the monthly chart looks good. You have not invalidated the low. You've came back down to retest it as support many times on many monthly candles, and you have not made new lows. So I think the lows are in for nat gas, and you could be getting ready to making another big leg up towards the upside, potentially as high as $3.50. All right, moving on, let's take a look at oil here. So oil is slightly up at the moment. However, it is starting to form a bit of a bear flag. So we just got a big leg down, and now we're starting to consolidate sideways, making higher lows and higher highs. And I know a lot of people will call this bullish, but to me, this looks like a bit of a bear flag. Or you could even say, if you wanted the bullish case, then I guess you could say you have an ascending triangle, like so. And if it were to break up towards the upside, the move could bring you as high as $80. And if it were to get to $80, that would be a definite short for me. As excuse me. As I would be tagging the 200-day moving average once again. And I think if we were to get some move like that, the RSI would start to get overbought once again. All right, let's take let's take a look at gold here. So gold is just chopping sideways again. The DXY has been extremely strong. It is red at the moment, so if the DXY starts to pull back, maybe you'll see a rally in gold, and you'll see a rally in Bitcoin as well. For the time being, I think gold would be a strong buy if it were to get down to 1915, or if we're even to tag this upsloping trend line right around 1934, 1935, depending on when you make contact. I think it would be a very nice long opportunity for gold, as it is still, even with this big drop here, it is still in a strong uptrend. Let's take a look at silver. Silver struggling a little bit more. We did short this level right here, right around $26. It has come back down significantly, down over 11% right now. However, I think silver could potentially start to make another low if it does not recover soon, as it is also an industrial metal, not only a precious metal. So if we slip into a recession, you might start to see silver start to come back down as well. But again, $22.20 would be strong support for me, and I would definitely get into a long at that level, or even start to accumulate it for the long term. And I think that covers it for now. I don't really have much more for you guys. You guys can see that we actually retested the 200 weekly as support on the weekly time frame, and we confirmed a nice green candle on it. So this is actually looking very bullish for Bitcoin. It could be getting ready to make another high here. Maybe we're gonna get to 35 to 38,000. Who knows? For the time being, Bitcoin's not looking that bad. Right? It was looking pretty grim when we were down at the lows, but now it's looking definitely a lot better. And the weekly time frame has not crossed yet on the MACD, so things can remain bullish for quite a bit of time. Okay, so just look at the charts, look at what they're telling you, and just go along with it. Okay, all right. I think that covers it for tonight. Thank you all for listening. Love you all. Peace.